the keynote address for what is going to become our Religion, Health, and Healing Symposium. Tonight's kind of the kickoff event. Tomorrow, we're going to be meeting all day in the Student Center, tomorrow and Friday. And you should have a program with you that you were handed out with a schedule. In addition, there's you'll find the abstracts of the papers give you a little bit more information than just simply the title. And we hope that you can make time or come in for one or more of the sessions tomorrow and Friday. I think you'll find it engaging and stimulating and with good discussion, and we hope that you will appreciate it. We do these symposiums on a somewhat regular basis as an effort to kind of catalyze scholarship and kind of the dissemination of scholarship among Creighton faculty and also others. And we invite others from outside of Creighton to come and participate. And tonight, our keynote speaker is one such scholar that was invited in, Janzen from the University of Kansas. At this point, I'm going to turn over the mic to Alex Rodlick from the Department of Sociology and Anthropology to do the introduction.
Keep it very short because we want to listen to the speaker, not to my unimportant words. Dr. John Janzen is, in anthropology, really one of the leading figures who has been studying African approaches to health and healing for many years. As a graduate student, his publications were required readings for many courses. We're very honored to introduce him and humbled to do so. One of his first major publications was The Quest for Therapy in the Lower Zaire. It was published in 1978 and later republished with a slightly altered title. For this book, he won the prestigious award of the Royal Anthropological Institute of Great Britain, Ireland, the so-called Welcome Award. It's a very prestigious award which was given. During many years, he studied in Central and Southern Africa the so-called Ngoma paradigm. I wouldn't speak much about it, he can do it much better. And much of what he was studying about the Ngoma paradigm was published in a book called Ngoma Discourses of Healing in Central and Southern Africa. Later, he also tried to understand how people deal with trauma after genocide. He went to the Central African region, the Central Lake region, Rwanda and Burundi, and interviewed people who have been experiencing suffering due to the genocide. It culminated in a publication. He's also a committed Mennonite and is studying Mennonite issues. I don't know very much about it. I admit his shortcoming in my knowledge. Dr. Janzen, without him, our understanding of African approaches to health and healing would be really incomplete. His studies are groundbreaking, and we are very honored to have him today here, opening the Creighton Center Symposium on Religion, Health and Healing. Janzen.
John, over here. I apologize. I turned the mic up and at the same time the projector went off, so I'm in the process of turning it back on. Okay. It'll take just a minute.
I'll get started. It's my pleasure to be here tonight and to begin your symposium on religion and healing. I want to recognize two special people here in the audience. The first of these is Alex Rodlick, who introduced me. I spent very profitable months in the St. Augustine Center of the SVD order, of which he is a member, way back in an earlier time when I was a beneficiary of the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship. I came to appreciate the work of the SVD order and especially their interest in anthropology. Another important figure here is Sue Schuster in the front row, who has taught here at Creighton and who was a graduate student of mine at the University of Kansas and did her dissertation research in southern Zimbabwe on the very subject which had been mentioned, the Ngoma complex. She did a year of field work, and I wanted to recognize that. And tonight, suffering and the alleviation of suffering have long been at the forefront of religious and scholarly preoccupations. The study of suffering and healing in Africa has proven particularly rich and instructive, whether because of the health challenges to this vast continent or related to this, the creativity of its people, especially its experts in the healing of diseases and social ills. In my lecture tonight, I will share with you some of the insights I have gained from a career of research on African healing, as well as questions that remain at the forefront of ongoing scholarly inquiry in this field. These insights, as well as some of the questions, reveal the uniqueness of African healing, as well as wider issues of concern that relate to general study of religion and society, such as is pursued in the Creighton Center and evident in the symposium. Now, allow me to introduce you forthwith to the world of African healing. A few vivid images of health and beauty on the one hand, as displayed on the left side by a Luba figure of a queen mother. Actually, this is a stool of a chief or a king, but the image is abstract beauty of a woman. And on the other hand, an image of disease and death. These images represent responses to ill health and misfortune. They are part of the universal search for meaning in suffering. African traditions of representation, whether masks, paintings, and stories, contrast beauty and health to the, on the one hand, to the bestial, to disease and death. So as in traditions of representation, this attempt to contrast suffering and disease and death to beauty and to health. And this is one of the sources of contested meaning in this whole topic. Now, let me get my, see if I can move forward here. Beauty and health across the life course are represented by such figures as these Ibeji twin figure carvings from Yoruba of Nigeria that represent perfected childhood, especially that of twins, that represent a challenge to parents as well as to philosophical inclinations to think about duality within one. Or these fertility dolls, so-called, from Botswana that represent the aspiration of idealized childhood. Or the figures that are associated with the Sunday Women's Society on the Guinea coast of West Africa and Sierra Leone that are the Sowe masks or headpieces worn by young women, as you see here, at the close of initiations, and that are very much an idealized picture of young womanhood, including the rather remarkable neck folds that are a different kind of idealization of beauty from, let's say, the Twiggy look recently so prominent in the United States. Or the this contemporary painting from the Democratic Republic of the Congo of a pregnant young woman being ministered to by other women and showing off her the beauty of reproduction and the health of the reproductive act. Or more mature motherhood, these maternity figures from the Yoruba of Nigeria on the left and the Baule of Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire on the right, showing the beauty of the centrality of maternity and motherhood in the making of an ongoing healthy society. Then this, again, this figure of a royal throne from the southern savannah of the Congo, the prestige and power of proficient adulthood. There are many other figures that might serve to demonstrate this. But in the African context, the life course of idealized health and beauty continues beyond what we would consider the end of life into ancestorhood, as shown here by these ancestor figures from the Flan of Gabon that inspire reverence and continuity, the continuity of life. Or these more generalized ancestor figures from the Kota of Gabon as well, Congo, Brazzaville, and Gabon border area, representing reliquary figures of the on top of the bones of the ancestors. So that on the one hand, and contrasted to that, representations of disease and death. This trickster figure from the southern savannah that shows the ugliness of scars of disease and the deviousness of the trickster figure together, who not only has scars that appear to reflect smallpox, but also a figure known to flaunt society's rules and regularly violate the boundaries of civility. So it is a study in the relationship of disease to the breakdown of society. Or this figure, also from the same masking tradition, a figure that captures the frightening specter of a seizure during which the victim, at the mercy of unknown forces, often falls into a hearth fire. The sharp black and twisted sharp white black face signifies the co-presence of the human and the spirit world in a devious and frightening way. Or this figure from the Ibibio of southeast Nigeria, representing pathological or abnormal tendencies, is known to be danced opposite a beautiful young woman whose image I don't have, but so again, the actual performance of this contrasting measures. Or the so-called smallpox god of West Africa, and personification actually of a wide range of serious skin eruptions, including but not limited to smallpox.